it. Don't break the rest, you won't make it. I don't even care where this road leads. All I know is when my heart is gone near the tree.
Oh, there you are, my man.
Got it.
My man.
Hello.
Nice work. Nice work.
What's happening, my brother?
Oh, plenty. Bro, we got so much to get into. I've been checking out your
I
page,
know, right?
your Instagram. I've been lighting up and going, oh man, we got stuff to talk about. This guy is deep.
Right.
This guy is my people. My man, Tariq
Thank you, my
Hilal.
brother. Thank
Bro,
you so much, man.
just to begin with, do you mind doing us a little favor and turning your camera horizontally? It just works better for the podcast. Perfect.
How's that?
Man, you're a good looking brother, man. No homo, man. Look at that smile. Look at that sexy hair. I'm feeling it.
Thank you, sir. Likewise.
That's my team. Chicago Bulls right there.
Chicago, there you go. Yeah, no, more of a fashion thing, but hey, yeah, I'll represent the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yo, so welcome to my podcast, man. It's pretty much just a random.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I try to keep these things laid back, but over the last few months, the main theme has been everything that's going on in the world in terms of the lockdowns, which is impossible to talk about. But one of the things that I absolutely love talking about that is really important in my life, and I think should be the number one thing for everyone if they're concerned about living life, is their health, right? And you are someone,
100.
Tariq, that is very much into your health. You know what? We've only spoken for less than 10 minutes, but I could tell
know, right?
as soon as you walked into, just to give people a heads up, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tariq. I met this guy literally a few days ago at the salon through Auntie Nunu, a studio. And essentially, this guy walks in, has a great energy, starts talking, and it turns out that this guy is really interested in health, interested in cannabis, which we're going to get into, the health benefits of this. Bro, do you want to start off by perhaps just telling everyone a bit about yourself?
Well, yeah, basically, Melbourne boy, born and bred, background, Lebanese, Syrian background. And yeah, pretty much just ever since a child, just had like a drawing towards natural healing remedies. I can't really explain it, but it's been something in my life it's always like something's always drawn me to want to understand more about nutrition, want to understand more about cannabis, want to understand more about just the system we live in, really. Like it never sat right with me. And I'm a man of questions. So if something doesn't feel right, I'm going to ask questions. And to me, this and not to be negative, I mean, there's a lot of beautiful things out there, but to me, there's a lot of things that are being hidden. So about me really is like, in a nutshell, is just trying to find the truth. That's it. I just want the truth, and I want to give the people the truth, and that's Tarik for you, man.
Bro,
that's it.
That's it. That's exactly the kind of stuff I like to drop on this podcast as well. I call myself the Esoteric Noetic. That's my YouTube channel, and it's all about bringing the hidden into the light, which is exactly what you're doing here. And I know one of the things that is a huge part of your life is promoting cannabis, and this is something that I'm actually not very familiar with. I mean, in terms of even understanding the distinction between marijuana, cannabis, hemp, there are all these different names for it. And I know that a lot of people tend to assume that, oh, you must be one of these like pot smoking, crazy people that doesn't want to do any work. As soon as they hear the word cannabis, they don't realize that this has, boy, does this have medicinal properties. So tell us. How did you get involved? I mean, you mentioned that you're someone that's always been interested in truth and health and healing, but what brought you into the secrets of cannabis oil and this stuff that
it got kind of, it got like, during my upbringing, I was researching truth and seeing what's going on around the world. And kind of long story short, I basically seen, like, I had a personal issue with my mother. She had a tumor growing in the back of her head, and like, the doctors was like constantly chemo and all the rest of it, and all these medications. And I started to educate myself further on like nutrition. And as we spoke about when we first met Mr. Dr. Sebi, a great teacher, and the knowledge that this gentleman provided into my life has not only healed my mother, it healed thousands of people. And it's shocking to me how how much of nutrition is hidden to us and how much sickness is normalized by the big pharma. So they always want to use terms of like treatment, and treatment is never healing. Treatment is treatment, short term. I'm going to write you this script and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next one. Now, someone's going to be losing money if there's going to be healing going on, because you're not going to see a doctor anymore, right? So
Exactly.
it's a monetary business. And for me, that hurts. There's kids out there, families that come to me and purchase the THC oil from various types of illnesses and sicknesses, whether it be stimming, Down syndrome, and there's children out there that like need this. There's adults out there that need this because it's a healing property. Cannabinoids are already inbuilt into our human body, so the closest thing as a healing remedy, it's a human steroid, but a natural version. There's no side effects. There's no feeling like ill or any types of way with this. So for me, it's just kind of just taking the veil off and being like, okay, well, people need this and it's healing and helping people. So we need to like start, getting it out there more, getting people to understand more about what it is. It's not just smoking marijuana. I don't even smoke marijuana myself, to get it personal. It's used as a medicine, and the best way possible is to just reconnect those cannabinoids between the human body and the brain, and to, get people feeling the best versions of themselves,
Absolutely. Bro, I'm so glad you make a distinction between marijuana and cannabis, because I think a lot of people, myself included, for a long time didn't understand the distinction. In fact, I think through a lot of advertising, marketing, this goes back as far back as, I don't know, the 50s or 60s or something like that. I remember hearing Captain of Marijuana, that's Joe Rogan, speaking about this. Like, he was the person that got interested in the whole concept of marijuana, because I was brought up, I drank Kool-Aid like everyone else. I thought this stuff was bad, it makes you go crazy. But apparently, there was a time period where they were marketing this stuff as something Black people are taking and doing crazy things like raping women and all this kind of stuff, right? Like, that was actually a thing.
Exactly right. And even just the fake marketing behind it, it was because obviously the big pharma wanted to start building their products and start building, like, anyone with anxiety or depression today will find it hard to get them hands on a CBD oil. But look, the positive side, it's growing, but like, here's some Xanax, here's some Valium, here's some short-term things. It will make you overweight. It will work for 3 to 4 hours, but I won't give you CBD oil that'll permanently work and not make you feeling groggy and sick. So for me, it's just like, just tell the people the truth. Like, take care of your fellow brothers and sisters. We're not here to exploit one another and just to make $1. Like, you're not taking any of that with you. And I don't know where it stems down to, but it's sad because there's people that need like help. There's people that need medical help, and the nutrition advice out there today is absolutely flawed, ridiculous, and even the educated doctors, it should be stripped of all their medical paper certificates, because they're lying to people to their face.
So much to go into over here, but you raised something that is so profound to me, and it's what we call medicine in the 21st century. Because as you mentioned, cannabis, I mean, it works synergistically with your body. You don't see the kind of side effects you do with plenty of these other drugs like Adderall and whatever it might be. You know what I mean? And to me, it's weird the fact that we call something a medicine that has all of these symptoms. I mean, if you're taking something and it's causing more problems than it's actually alleviating, how do you call that a medication? It's
correct.
It's a weird world we live in, right?
100. 100. Like, you have to always be realistic with. But unfortunately, like, the same people that the big pharma are backed by are the same people that are advocating the same foods we got to eat. So I come from a Middle Eastern background. There was always so many barbecues, so many beautiful, delicious foods and meat.
Join the crew.
And like,
join the crew.
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
And like chicken and everything. But unfortunately, like, the more the more I like delved into nutrition, the more I was like, kind of upset. These things are not good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we have to kind of like distinguish the difference between a And look, each to their own. I'm not an animal activist. I don't speak for any groups or anything, or from a religious point of view. I'm speaking strictly science. That the best way to knock any disease on its head is to get yourself some if you're in serious, get yourself some CBD or THC oil and jump on a plant-based diet. There's so many knowledgeable documentaries out there.
Preach, my brother. Rocking the plant.
Hey, see, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know.
I didn't realize this guy's rocking the plant-based, man. Because I mean, you just started talking about Dr. Sebi, someone that I've always deeply respected. I don't know that much about his work, but I've heard many people mention his diet and how it's cured a lot of people from illnesses. And
it's very basic. It's very basic. We don't even have, like, Dr. Sebi he's just a realist, and people think it's very complex. It's not complex at all. There's only one disease, and that's a buildup of mucus in your body. There isn't tumors, asthma, Asperger's, it's one disease. It's a buildup of mucus in your body. Wherever it decides to stop, unfortunately, all these big pharmas have different names for it. There's one disease, and that's a buildup of mucus. So that means you've eaten too much of your bad foods, you're not hydrating enough, you're not seeing Mr. Sun enough. And that's, unfortunately, the body is amazing. It'll heal itself, like, naturally, constantly. But if you're constantly feeding it carcinogenic foods, but this is the problem where we need to raise more awareness towards, because you have companies still telling you, oh, get your eggs in. There's eggs is equivalent. One egg is equivalent to 5 cigarettes, and I'm like I said, this might upset some people, but
I just gotta preface this. This is obviously, anytime you talk about food, people's food, they get very defensive, and add to that the whole realm of medical misinformation on YouTube. I don't know if you do much social media, but right now, man, I'm already on my second strike, so I don't want to take any chances.
I'm sorry.
Preface this by saying that, look, man,
this too much likely to be flagged.
I may have to put this up on my other channels first before I put this up on the main one, because YouTube at the moment, they're doing this whole thing around, oh, you can't even speak a hindrance of the truth, man. Otherwise, they will take you down. But this stuff has got to come out. And I always say that 3 things that cannot remain hidden, man, are the sun, the moon, and the truth. This stuff will get out, and hopefully people will heal themselves. But preach, brother, preach. So yeah, that's a lot of bad stuff. Yeah.
So, like, it's exactly right. I mean, when you reside with the truth, you feel better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not ever judging anyone who eats a type of way. I was eating that type of way. It's not your fault. And it is okay to be, discovering, looking into this thing. The message is not to try and come across as what you're doing is wrong, this is right. It's more so to give you the understanding of what you're doing, so then you can actually make a genuine, wholehearted, calculated decision with what you know. But it's not fair, I think, on the people when they're being told something is like this, but it's actually doing this.
Welcome to the 21st century, man. As much as I want to go into this stuff, because this relates to so many.
I know, right?
But we got to be careful when we tread on this. When we tread on these. We got to be
careful. Absolutely, we do have to be careful, but we also have to look out for each other. And for me, it's always the most important thing is to tell the truth. Try and do the right thing where you can, and just let people know. Let people know the truth.
I think all you can really do is provide people with options that they weren't aware of. A lot of people don't actually, like, for instance, I was trying to make the point earlier that because of all this marketing that took place, people don't even understand there's a distinction between cannabis, which is non-psychoactive, correct me if I'm wrong, right? And something like the hemp plant, which is the psychoactive.
So yes, so you've got the CBD is the male plant, that's the non-psychoactive one. The female, however, oh my days, she's psychoactive and she's very strong. Okay. That's the marijuana, that's the THC.
Yeah, so watch out for those women, right? The feminine will get you into all kinds of like dream spells. Oh, I get it. Because
but the beautiful part about CBD is you don't get high, and some people don't enjoy the comfort of getting high, and that it creates anxiety for them. So also another medicinal purpose is that you have these cannabinoids where you can still be reaping the benefits from the medicine, but not feeling the psychoactive effects of marijuana. But your body is in a healing process to build up those cannabinoids, build up, reduce the inflammation in the body, help kill the disease, and help you put a smile on your face throughout your day. Because if you're feeling like shit, you're going to make the next person feel like shit. And it's a vibe. Everything's a vibration. Everything's connected. We're a web. So no one is separated from anything. If you feel good, you're going to make your brother or sister feel good. And even the random blokes down the street. So that's what it's all about.
Word, man. You know, vibes speak louder than words. And look, the one thing I noticed about you, man, as soon as you walked in the room, I was like, oh, breath of fresh air. I'm vibing with this guy. You know? It turns out, yeah, there's a lot of commonality there. But
thank you. I'm humbled by your nice words, man. Thank you so much.
Because I've been checking out your Instagram, and it's all just promoting this. It's all around. There's a lot of stuff that you talk about, but it's all around the cannabis. And the thing is, rightfully so, this is one of the most powerful medicinal substances known to mankind. Not only does it put you in that mood and allow you to tap into psychedelic streams of consciousness, which we don't need to get into, but this stuff has so many medicinal properties. I mean, whereas I have to confess, and a lot of people always assume that I must be one of these, Rastafarians. I take this stuff, but the thing, I've never actually tried this stuff. That being said, I am someone that is very informed about the benefits of this, and it has been used throughout pretty much all of civilization. I mean, Queen Elizabeth would use this for menstrual cramps. The actual plant, like so many different properties. Apparently, the first car was actually the prototype was by Henry Ford, was made from hemp, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this whole other, and it's not conspiracy. This is fact in regards to why this plant was taken off of the Western society, because it was competing with some other
the plastics industry. I mean, hemp can absolutely, exactly relating to what you're saying, can make anything. You can make this Chicago Bulls t-shirt even cooler and better with hemp material. A hemp tree inside the ocean provides 6 times the oxygen a regular tree does. You can build a house using a hemp. Like, there's people that don't have the best interest in us, that our business is at stake if marijuana is legalized, simply because of it's exactly what you say. It's endless what it can do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of money. So but in terms of medicine and even just television itself, it is like, people need to understand that this screen that you guys have in your home is television. A vision. It's telling you a vision. It's not necessarily correct. Think for yourself. Do your research and do what makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. That's all my message is to everybody that, anybody who listens to this, is do what makes you feel good. If you're wholeheartedly, genuinely feeling good, then good for you. But unfortunately, I don't believe that case is so with the information and misinformation that's provided for us by the superiors, or I don't know.
Absolutely.
These people. Yeah.
And this thing, the entire industry, it's catered towards, as we alluded to, not actually providing health, but making people essentially come back. So it's like, if you're a business, why are you going to, unless of course you are a super awesome person, why are you going to be interested in healing someone? Because once you heal them, they're never going to come back to you. And one of the biggest issues I have with this entire thing is that, I mean, the entire system of the pharmaceutical industry and just, I guess, modern day medicine is, unless you can make money off of a drug, you're not going to promote it. And the problem with so many of these plant medicines, right, is that because they're natural, you can't actually take this stuff and patent this with the current legal system that we have, and because of that, there's no market for it. Therefore, it's not conspiracy; it's just common sense. Because as soon as you
exactly right,
accuse you of being a conspiracy theorist, there's no money to be made from the pharmaceutical companies from repackaging this shit, because you can't. I mean, legally, you can't really repackage.
I mean, anyone could actually be on that endeavor to heal themselves and heal their families. I mean, you could go on YouTube right now, type in Rick Simpson THC oil. He's got millions and millions of views. He shows you how to extract the oil from the plant. And it's not a complex thing to do. But the reason why I respect people like this out there is because there's genuinely people that have lived their lives misinformed and not feeling the best. And that's when you can heal yourself, feel better. I mean, what better? You're here to feel good, you know?
Absolutely. You know, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit, but they're all interconnected. I think so much of
Correct.
the, I guess, and I'm always a little trepidatious anytime I move into these realms because of the just the current social media standards right now. But you have a look at what is going on right now, and it's like the things that we need the most in order to keep us healthy, like sunlight, like it, you
Correct.
don't hear the mainstream media telling you to go out and get lots of sunshine, to eat healthy, to exercise in order to
Exactly
fully
right.
protect you from this dreaded thing that is going on, right? But
Exactly right. I mean, they
instead,
lock you indoors, and
absolutely, instead they promote
sickness in
something
itself.
what we were brought up generally to say no to, drugs, right? It's like I spent most of my life being told my parents, hey, don't take drugs, they're not good for you, right? And then here
Yeah.
you get this situation where you have big pharma pushing that very thing, that very narrative that we were warned against. Here,
Correct.
take some
Correct. And it
experimental
gets,
drugs.
it gets
It's
pretty
good for you.
scary and deep as well. With even if it, I mean, I'm gonna dive in a little bit deep here, you know. So
Sure, man.
excuse me to get set, but even the music on the radio, right? Like the frequencies are set to harmful frequencies. I mean, these are things that certain armies used in certain times of war. They changed the hertz of frequency to make you feel discomfort. The message of all of it is not proper for the human body. We, as people, need to understand that you need to do your own research. That's
Mhm.
as kindly and brief as I'll keep. It's like just ask the question. You know, if
Yeah.
someone tells you, "Hey, take these tablets," go research what those tablets are. Just like check it out and really like try and get to the bottom of it.
Absolutely.
That's it. Really.
Bro,
Yeah.
let's go deep into this stuff because this is what I do on the Crucial Journey podcast. Like, because there's so many levels where we're saturated with things that are not good for our health, not just what we're taking into ourselves in terms of food, but in terms of information, in terms of music. These are all people think this is all airy fairy, but this is vibrational energy that has the ability to influence you on a subliminal and a
Correct.
physical, tangible level. So even when you were talking about certain music frequencies, like yeah, I'm down with that stuff as well. Like there is something
100.
to like you're familiar with the Schumann resonance, right? This is a frequency that is in touch with like the natural frequency of the planet, and it has a
Of
lot of
course. Yeah.
beneficial qualities when you are in this frequency. Like I go to a yoga studio called Humming Puppy, plug for the Humming Puppy, and basically their entire
Nah.
studio is set up in this way where it's tuned to the human resonance. So when you chant, essentially it has a healing effect on you, and this stuff is measurable.
That
You
is
can see the effect
incredible.
this
Yeah.
has on your physiology. And then there are certain frequencies, or certain, even just on an emotional level, like there's certain vibes that you will get from certain music that, yeah, can actually be
Exactly.
off-putting. So you got to be conscious about the kind of music that you.
Check out this man right here, right? So you
Oh,
got this. You got Mr. Bob right here. I've got
my
this book
brother,
here.
you
This
can't
is
go
my
wrong with
man,
the
right?
reggae. See, once you got some
He,
reggae beats, that'll put you in the right state of mind. The Bob
that's
Marley.
it. And the frequency, like unfortunately, him and Jimi Hendrix would play their frequency at a certain hertz, and that was all scrapped. It was going against the system of some big people with big deep pockets that are not wanting you to listen to this. Because what is this? This is unity. And what happens when people unite? Their consciousness and vibration levels are raised. So unfortunately, through time, we've just faced. And again, I don't want to be
No, no,
sound
keep
too down. It's
no. Oh,
unfortunately, like these people are killed off because they speak the truth and they try and unite a brother and sister, but you still have the system in place where the food they tell you is wrong. The music they give us is completely and utterly not even, it's full of rubbish. It's just full of rubbish. It's just, like whatever happened to a good tune once in a while. Like, there's a
yeah,
few
bro.
out there, maybe J. Cole's always been in my heart. Like,
Okay. You
yeah,
know, I hear what you're saying because I love music that is organic, that hasn't been completely like stripped to the point where there's none of that human soul element. Like everything is just electronically created in this day and age, and it's so digitized that it's losing that that real kind of raw human element. But there is something
Correct.
really important about this particular conversation right now, because whereas a lot of people think, oh, it's just music, man. What are you talking about? You conspiracy theorists, you hippies. But
Yeah, yeah,
look,
yeah,
look at what is
yeah.
going on right now. Okay, in terms, because you're talking about people like Bob Marley, these figures that are actually opening people's consciousness because of the music that they're putting forward. And there is an active push right now in parts of the world. This is in China, like a lot of countries,
Correct.
Venezuela, Colombia, where they're actually uh, imprisoning artists for creating music that is rebellious. So
Correct.
here's a lot of the artists, because you're not allowed to say things publicly. There's no free speech, right? They're actually expressing themselves through arts, expressing their disagreement with what is going on, and it's been made.
100.
So this kind of music, like it's not even just the content, right? Like there's the metaphysical aspect of the music as well, the frequency.
Correct. Exactly. In relation to
Anything
what
that
you're
makes
saying
you
about the healing purposes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
but it's been censored on one level. It's like, oh, you can't have this music, and then on top of that, man, I mean, we're seeing this. I have this conspiracy theory, right? It's actually not a conspiracy theory to me, but I always use this because, I'm going to preface it fair enough.
Here, let me hear it. I'm excited. Let me hear it.
Because this is the other side of marijuana, right? And the thing is, these things are called entheogens. Essentially, the etymology of this deals with like essentially to have God within you. This is the etymology of entheogen, and essentially you're opening yourself up to this, call it what you will, God, Krishna, Buddha, Allah, but some kind of higher realm outside of this Euclidean meat space, as I
Correct.
like to call it. And it leads to, when people experience these drugs, they tend to, their thoughts change. They've actually done scientific tests to show that it increases your semantic priming, which is your ability to find connectivity, to like cast a wider net of connectivity. A lot of rappers and musicians,
course,
they can
of
tap
course.
into the muse. And it's this revolutionary like ideas that you tap into when you take certain plants like marijuana and so forth, ayahuasca.
Raise
And
that
it would make-
vibration.
absolutely, it would make sense that there is a shift to prevent people from taking these things, because in the same way,
Correct.
we don't want you listening to music that is speaking about the revolution is going to make you question the status quo. We don't want you taking substances that are going to create the same effect, where you start questioning whether or not this rat race is absolutely justified. Therefore,
Well, correct. Yeah.
there's this effort to
And
kind
you
of suppress people.
And also you stop purchasing things like that, like a mobile phone, for example, telephone, telepathy. We used to telepathy. We used to already know, because we weren't so, our pineal glands
Left
weren't
brain,
so
yeah.
infected with heavy metals. We used to be able to actually communicate, and we still can, because some people are still in that tune. Like, when you ever someone like was about to walk into the room, but you felt them before they walked into the room, that's a vibe. You can genuinely feel that vibe. You can communicate with people through your mind. There's nothing new under the sun. But they're succeeding at the moment through mobile phones and these types of false ways of communication. But we already know how to do all this. We just need to be left alone to re-access, clean up pineal glands, and get that vibration high again. Because as long as we're eating those foods and unfortunately not really being empathetic towards different ideas, and we're just reprogramming, doing the same thing, it's going to be harder and harder to tap in. But there is people like yourself, like, that are out there, and, that we met for a reason, and we're here, like, talking about it. It's incredible, because this is raising the vibration right now. And it's a blessing. So thank you again.
Tariq,
Really,
you are a blessing, bro. I'm so glad you brought up this kind of stuff, because look, one of the reasons as to why I am very conscious about what I put into myself is I actually believe, this is what I was brought up, and I always meet people from around the world with a different religions or thoughts where they've learned, these same teachings, and we resonate in the same point. Like, there are certain foods that will cut you off your ability to tap into these frequencies that we're talking about. I mean, you're alluding to, you're essentially saying that, like it's almost as if we've forgotten this connectivity that we have. It's like society has cut us off from this through just through tradition, and we're so used to using all this technology now, and because we're so inundated with all of this programming, on so many levels, it's like we don't have the ability to access these higher realms. And like on a very practical, scientific level, like I would love reading up on philosophers like, I think it was, I want to say, I think it was Socrates, right? But to me, he blew my mind because he was one of these people, right? Around his time, the whole concept of reading was a pretty foreign thing. And
Wow.
check this out, right? Like he was the kind of person that would memorize everything. That was the norm in his times. At least I believe it was Socrates. It might have been someone
Whoa.
before him. But check this out. They would actually, the people in his time, Socrates would actually look at the whole concept of reading as actually atrophying your mind, right? Because you would not be using this aspect of your brain that was able to memorize things quickly. You'd hear things and then you just immediately like put it to memory because you couldn't just
That's
write it
incredible.
down. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying reading is a bad thing or anything per se, but
No, no, no. Yeah, I totally know what
the
you're
point I'm
going
trying to
to
make
say.
here, right, is that you're losing in the same way that people in the past were so much better at memorizing things. Like I'm
Correct.
really into mentalism and the whole esoteric studies in regards to like certain and these are just abilities that a lot of magicians use in order to do certain things. But this ability
Correct. Yeah.
to train your mind to memorize entire like people have memorized like the Babylonian Bible and stuff like that. Like they
Yeah.
literally and
Correct.
this is supposed to be from one instant much more longer than the actual Bible. Like this is stuff people had the ability to do because they were so used to memorizing things, but they've lost that ability because of reading. And the parallel is that in that way, you have a look at what is going on around right now, right? We're so saturated with technology that we've somehow lost these innate abilities, these latent abilities we have to like tap into our psychic ability, you know, the intuitive aspects. And when you don't use something, you lose it. So essentially, I think because of
I couldn't agree more.
the
Honestly,
technological age,
that's
our immune systems.
100.
Well, I mean, check what's going on in the moment, right? Like it's like if we don't allow our immune systems to actually get stronger, we expose ourselves to like, whatever it might be, you know, and allow it to.
Oh, most definitely. So we're talking about
Now we're just
coronavirus now.
now
Oh
we're just
my
being
God.
inundated with shit, right? And I don't want to go medical on this because you too, but I don't know if that's going to have the same effect as strengthening our immune system naturally. And it's like we're losing this ability. Not only our bodies, but our minds are losing the ability to actually do stuff because we're not doing it anymore.
What happens when you implement fear is that is the strongest thing to break down your immune system is fear.
Mhm.
So it's as simple as that. Like if someone is living fearful and they're looking at all these statistics, 30 people got the flu today. They didn't get the flu because of coronavirus. I'm sorry, they got the flu because their nutrition isn't right. So, I mean, it is what it is. But they look at it, and when they believe it, their bodies react a type of way. You're not going to feel good. If you're happy and you're feeling all right, you're not going to get sick because you're not worried. If you're worried and you're fearful of your life and this lockdown and everything. So another thing I just wanted to say quickly is everybody like try and stay as positive as possible. Don't let anyone try and break your spirit because that's the exact thing they want to get the vaccine, to get coronavirus. Keep that smile high. Just keep smiling.
Tariq, are you telling people that they should rely on their immune systems as opposed to, I call it the boom shakalaka, just to try to censor it, as opposed to getting the boom? Bro, I don't know if we can be saying that, bro. I just want to say officially, man, you got to do what your health authorities tell you. But just between you and me, well, I'm keeping.
Yeah. I feel you.
I hear you, brother.
I get you.
Yeah, man.
But definitely do what the health authorities say. But just keep the spirits up. Keep your spirits up. Keep the smiles up, nice and high, and ensure that you're because there's a lot of people at the moment. The vibration is down. There's a lot of people that need a fellow, mother or sister they haven't seen in weeks.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's my message. I'm not giving health advice here. My message is I'm giving a smile advice. That's as far as it's going, So you're in the safe side now.
Look at that.
A smile.
People are going to watch this and they're going to be smiling from ear to ear, checking out that smile of yours.
Look after people, love each other and put on some Bob Marley once in a while. And that's life, eat some good food. Happy days.
That I can get on board with. Bro, you were telling me that essentially through the use of cannabis, you were able to help your mother. Let's go into that a bit. And can you talk what are the benefits of cannabis? Because I know it can be used to cure cancer, but I know it has a lot of other beneficial qualities. Do you want to talk?
It can be used to cure cancer, but people have to remember everything stems back down to nutrition. Cannabis oil is the most strongest and natural, incredible medicine known to mankind. However, it is defeats the purpose if you're going to be taking your cannabis oil whilst you've been diagnosed with cancer and going and buying a Big Mac or eating a Happy Meal. Like, I'm sorry, it does not work. Cannabis oil works with pH, a pH high alkaline, clean water, a plant-based diet, and your cannabis oil, no matter if it's the poorest quality or highest quality, will be amplified strength times 10 or 15 simply because of the nutrition you're getting in. So what helps kill disease is reducing inflammation. Reducing inflammation comes from getting that plant-based diet. And look, for those whom are not plant-based, I know it's not easy. I used to eat everything, bacon, pork, chicken, well, whatever you want. But ultimately, I got tired of being sick. And I got tired of watching my mother being sick. And I got tired of all of it. So I looked for answers and I found them. So look for your answers and you'll find them too. That's you can feel better. That's it. You can feel better. Everything's irreversible. There's nothing that's permanent. If someone is being, it's not the end of the world. You can come back from depression, anxiety, sleep apnea, cancer, tumors. You can reverse these things. And do get your professional GP health advice. I'll put that in there for you.
Okay.
But do your research too.
That is a powerful message, man. I find more often than not, there is always, I like this philosophy, and I believe it is true, that whatever illness you can be afflicted by in this world, there has been something that has been provided on this planet to cure that illness itself. Now, of course,
yes,
the mainstream medical practitioners will tell you there is no cure for this, there is no cure for that. But, I mean, from my experience, not the case. If you, like you're saying, are getting the right foods, nutrients into your body, you give your body, which is this unbelievably ingenious system. It has its own
thank you, sir. Yes, it
intelligence. Because I mean, you think about the stuff that is going on in your body, and it's like it is basically there is a universe. I often like to use the analogy that basically we are essentially you're like a god in the sense that within your body there is a universe and you are in charge of it. And essentially, as you change your vibration, you become happy, positive. Like all the cells within your body, they conspire to move in with whatever vibration you're emitting. And when you realize that you're governing this universe within yourself, like the 50 trillion cells within your body, they're responding to the stuff that you put in it and your actions and vibrations. That makes you realize just how powerful you are. One, it can be done through the mind. But I mean, it all starts with the mind in terms of what you put into yourself, but also your thoughts. I'm a big fan of a guy called Bruce Lipton, who is he's a what's the term? Epigeneticist, right? Which deals with basically he's got this amazing book called The Power of Belief, but it shows how simply your thoughts, as airy-fairy as it sounds, it's tangible, it's proven. We know that thoughts are a real thing. They can be measured with technology.
Oh, of course. I mean, I'm a fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza too. He talks about everything. Everything that you're thinking is ultimately your next step. We manifest our next positions in life, like whatever it may be, whatever change what you see, and the things you see change. It's just how it works. It's the realm that we're in. We are the creators. People are looking for, and no disrespect there, people are looking for the God, but you are the God. You are the goddess. You are the manifester. It's just a matter of you deciding what you want to manifest.
I share that, brother. Preach. Yeah. So, no doubt, like your mother's obviously still around here. Like she's
yes, sir. Yeah, she's well and healthy. Yeah. I mean, she still has occasional meals where I gotta be Ma.
Watch out for that. Yeah. It's tough, man.
And I'm so grateful for this oil, and I'm so grateful for YouTube. I'm grateful for YouTube. I'm grateful for information. I'm grateful for plant-based diets. And it's just amazing that she was able to go back into that hospital room where the head surgeon was, and he said, like, took the scans afterwards, and they looked at it and they said, well, you know what, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really say that yes, cannabis oil is good, but they say whatever you're doing,
Can't say that.
keep
Yeah.
you're feeling good. So
I
thank
love
God,
hearing-
man. Blessings on blessings.
Yeah, I love hearing stories like that, man. That's powerful. So you mentioned you were obviously using YouTube, find information. I presume you went on some kind of like uh
Oh yeah,
yeah,
such a
search
young age.
information. Yeah, and you
I've had a
discovered.
very unusual like this like this from as soon as the 9/11, even as a kid, I was a child when that happened, and the research that I did into that alone was was something that's absolutely scary, into discovering what certain corporations and the Federal Bank Reserve and information and Wikipedia and Julian Assange.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
The information is there, and what's funny about a lie? A lie always can be. It can be like you can press it down for so long, but I tell you, it's gonna come back up and it smacks these people in the face, because the truth is too powerful. We're not wired for lies and trickery. We're wired for love and honesty. That's the way the humans are wired. No matter how bad you are or how bad you think you are, you're going to come back to that realization where the truth is going to find you, or you're going to find it. And either way, it's going to be beautiful, because it's going to be the new manifestation of whatever path you're going for. So,
Word, man. I think the truth will set you free. But I got to tell you, bro, I just, in the interest of keeping this real, man, for some time, man, like the lie can do a lot of damage. I mean, eventually the truth will come out. But like there's this saying by Goebbels, who was the propaganda minister for Hitler, did a lot of crazy shit. And he would say that if you it was the Hitler said this, or it was Hitler or something or other, but if you tell the lie, you keep on telling, you make it big enough, people will eventually believe it. And that lie can do a lot of harm, man. Like a lot of people can die before, and a lot of horrible stuff that can happen before the truth eventually comes out. And what people like yourself, no doubt, and like I'm trying to do, is make sure that people have the truth so they can make their own informed decisions, as opposed to.
And God bless you for that. And you got to understand that what you're doing is it's God's work. It's incredible. And again, I'm so humbled to be able to just have this conversation with you, because there's nothing better than just telling the truth and just speaking honestly and looking out for one another. So this is a really big thing, and I'm so thankful and happy just to be a part of it, because there's people that will, even if it's one person that watches this and takes something from it, it's a success.
Oh, I'll make sure this message gets out there, bro. I'm going to be plugging this on all my channels now.
You got a great following. I mean, like, I hope we get
to have you on, bro. One of the conversations, one of the main things that we spoke about that really caught my interest was you were talking about Dr. Sebi, the court case that really, I think, put Dr. Sebi on the map. And like from what you're telling me, can you tell me a bit about that? Because a lot of people are thinking like, who is this?
I only know it in brief, but he's the first person to be. He's the first person to be the federal U.S. courts, the highest court system in the U.S.A., because of his claims to heal AIDS and cancer. So legally,
did you say AIDS as well?
AIDS. Oh, of course.
Oh, damn, that's big. That's it. All right.
He healed AIDS, and there's still information out there for that. And this has been in the court against the same people that probably might try and play around.
As a man, if I try to put this up, man, this shit's gonna get censored.
He won in court. I mean, go take it up with Dr. Sebi.
All right, brother. All right. Well, but okay.
So cut a long story short. The way he won the court case was he brought his 150 or 200 or so clients to the courtroom, and they testified one by one. So that is, I guess, the brief story of Dr. Sebi. But he's a remarkable person, and the fact is simply because he spoke the truth, and he taught me so much, and I just hope to keep continuously sharing that knowledge with anybody, my fellow people. And it's amazing because when you hear the truth, you know it's true. And I know that sounds kind of basic, but like when you hear the truth, you actually know it's true. So this isn't no man just conspiracy theory. Oh, here's some herbs and yeah, you'll be all right. Take it. It 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 hits you when he speaks.
Yeah.
And
There's a
he
true
educates
frequency,
you.
man. And if you train
Yeah,
your, like
I like
I'm a
that
musician, you train your
frequency.
ear, your inner ear. You become better at detecting when you're actually hearing the truth, like that frequency. It's like,
Of course.
I hear that. I hear the harmony. Oh wait, no, there's some kind of dissonance
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
That doesn't feel right. But you hear
Yeah,
it. You
you even
mentioned
start to be able to pull up yourself when you're bullshitting yourself. I'm like, oh, hang on a sec, Tariq. No,
absolutely, yeah. The people,
it's great.
for a lot of politicians that live in this world of constant BS, they can't see the truth even when it's right in front of them. But the
Of
people who
course,
kind of like
of course.
make it their mission to actually uncover, the hidden mysteries of this planet and what is going on so many levels, not just the physical, but the
Beautifully
internal,
said.
the metaphysical, and so
Let's
forth.
figure out the hidden mysteries of the planet. That is incredible. And because if you think that there isn't, I think you're mistaken. That is beautifully said by you. Like, please, everybody, just go have a little squiz, have a look,
Oh,
have a study.
you only have
Well,
to look at history to see how things that were considered completely false, were actually true, and how more often than not the truth has actually been hidden, has always been kept within a small group of people. I mean, the sciences that we accept as being truth now, some of them are obviously BS, but the main sciences, these were considered to be hippie ideas, esoteric ideas. I mean, we get so much of our understanding of the kind of scientific world because of the hidden mysteries. It was Sir Francis Bacon, who was actually an occultist, someone that believed in the mysteries and all the stuff, that actually was responsible for the scientific method. We have so much of, like, for instance, chemistry comes from alchemy. We have, sacred geometry that brings about certain forms
yeah,
of
sacred
mathematics
geometry.
and
Yeah.
so forth. But so much of this knowledge that we call, airy fairy stuff, is come about from science, and it takes time
Yeah,
until
those
it's been
books are hidden in the Vatican, by the way. We got to go get them sometime. They're inside the
yeah.
Vatican. They're locked, and that's why he carries around his big little beautiful the pine cone. It's all frequency. People question how the pyramids were built or how things. If everything is frequency, that pine cone, when you tap into a certain frequency, you can move anything. And like again, telepathy, telephone. We used to do all of this mental just here, right here. And yeah, the truth will find its way. It
No
always
doubt.
does.
I'm familiar with some of that stuff
That's the best
in
part.
regards to using sound frequencies to actually manipulate things. That, like, there's actually a well-known scientist of some sort that was essentially, like, actually recreated, like, large objects or something like that, and was able to
Correct.
display how using some kind of sound frequency technology could allow you to essentially move these things. Because I know a lot of people hear this stuff and they're like, all right, you guys have lost me here. But no, there is science
Yeah,
to everything. It's just that a lot of the times we don't understand it as science, and we just assume that it's like, you telling me all I got to do is eat plants and that's going to make me healthy. Yeah, bro. That's it's just
well, I mean, we'll put it in the
not just
basic,
that.
we'll put it in the most basic spectrum for them to understand, for those are skeptical. So the cow, right? Meat, protein. The cow eats what? Grass. Unfortunately, nowadays, the cow is not even eating grass, it's eating corn-fed materials and the biggest purchasers,
soy.
yes, sir, and the biggest purchasers of these, the pharmaceutical companies are farmers buying antibiotics for all these sick animals and chickens. And I've been to a chicken farm. I've seen all this with myself. It's all mucus built food. And if you just you want to get better, consider it, because there's documentaries on Netflix. I mean, just watch What the Health. I'm not sure if you've been familiar. What the Health is a brilliant one.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Absolutely. No, I've gone through all of that, man. Like I've I mean, just a bit of backstory in regards to my journey. I mean, I came to this, from a very young age. My dad, who passed away, God bless his soul, was very much into a lot of this knowledge to begin with. And because he came from that kind of worldview, that influenced me. So essentially, I adopted this diet. I stopped eating animals, at the age of 6, and I kind
So
of
your
just
father was the main influencer behind.
well, it was, I mean, that was probably on some unconscious level, but it was me just like it always came from like I've always been very kind of like intuitively activated to begin with. It's kind of like if something doesn't feel right intuitively, I'm like not going with it. And then later on,
Incredible.
until it wasn't until much later that I started seeing the logical connections, but I just knew intuitively, yeah, this ain't right for me. I love animals. I don't want to eat them. Don't want to kill them. And then later on, we started make like for instance, we start because I had asthma at the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, good old asthma. I had it
yeah,
too.
bro, I mean, technically, I still have asthma because, because of everything that's going on. It's like I have an exemption, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I
let's
got
let's,
you.
let's go with that, right? But but yeah,
We're going with
essentially,
that. That's
yeah.
fine
Well,
right now.
but by changing my diet, my parents put me on. Like, we cut milk, from the diet, and like I just found that I was a lot healthier. And then I've always been competing, with athletics at a high level, and people would be like, "What? You don't eat any animals? Where do you get your strength from?" But I just from a very young age, I knew that one, it didn't make sense, emotionally that I needed to eat all this stuff to be healthy, and that I was actually
Correct.
much healthier when I wasn't eating all that stuff. But yeah, it wasn't
And
until later that
that's
I
the
started
sad
seeing the
thing, right?
logical.
Like, just tell the people the truth about the food. Tell the people the truth about the food. Like, not give them while they're on chemotherapy a certain health diet plan that is full of carcinogenic foods that's going to continuously keep them on that path. I mean, like for me, there's like levels to evil, I've never ever been able to fathom how a fellow brother or sister can sit there and like have there's advertisements out there like, oh, get some pork on your fork. Like, no.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I
no,
mean,
get
I'll break it down quite simply for you. When your livelihood depends on you not understanding something, you won't. I mean, obviously, you're not going to understand it. When people's jobs are on the line, like you try to tell a police officer, that what they're doing is wrong if they're trying to like force you to do something like, wear a mask even though you have an exemption, right? And they'll try to justify it because at the end of the day, they want their paycheck, right? And it happens
oh
at all
100.
levels. Like we have a system at the moment where doctors, and I don't want to go into details for obvious reasons, but a lot of them are
Yeah,
aware
yeah, yeah.
in
I got
regards to the
you.
insanity of what is happening right now. But because
Most
they don't want to lose their
definitely.
jobs, yeah, they won't speak out. And they'll, like they will, yeah, essentially they will
There is
condone.
one. There's a lot of people, Chris. There's a lot of people like speaking out, but it's unfortunate because they're hiring these internet geniuses that can whiz this stuff off the internet so fast before it's even. I mean, like there's a lack of freedom of speech because of the technologies out there. I mean, so many things have been flagged and taken down. I mean, it's just my opinion. It's like if my opinion is not being able to be heard or said, then what's left? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
Like
the argument, Tariq, is they always tell you that your opinions could be doing harm. Like their
oh
actual
yeah, yeah, the flip side of that.
drugs are not doing any harm. And like this is an actual statistical fact. The last time I checked this out, I'm not going to recite the actual statistic, but you have a look at the things that cause the most amount of deaths in the world, and one of the leading causes, the last, I don't even want to mention it because of YouTube, but I will say just in the drop, if people actually have a look, they Google like the leading causes of death, just have a look how
All right.
far pharmaceutical drugs is down the line. That's all I'm gonna. That's all I'm
Oh
gonna say.
yeah, oh
Yeah,
for
because
sure, for
yeah, I mean
sure.
the fact that
I mean, man, they're giving speed and heroin to kids. That's just the reality of it. Like, no matter if you're not going to try and find a natural remedy for a child, then for me, there's something, some type of wrong business here. I mean, make your money, but don't hurt and give people misinformation. Don't do
yeah,
that. It's not
but they
good.
believe
It
they
doesn't.
think this is misinformation. You see, this is the double stand. This is the weird thing. It's kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
you guys are giving false information here. But the thing is, we want to have this open conversation, right? To actually allow, because
yeah.
this is how it works within a free society. People have their views, and then you have this marketplace of ideas, and you do battle to figure out which views people are going to take. But what
And if it
one
was
side is
like
doing right
that,
now,
I would be so happy and
yeah,
respectful towards anything. And don't get me wrong, not all pharmaceuticals and big pharmas are like completely wrong and erratic, but there's a business. There's a business.
and that's the key
And
word.
and and that Tarik Hilal cannabis, I'm just gonna say there is no business. There's no, never have been one. Money is great, luxury is great, but you ultimately, the best feeling you can ever get from helping someone with THC and CBD oil is a mother calling you and telling her that, hey, thank you so much. My kid stopped stimming today, and he was able to go to play school and play with his friends like a normal child. Or, my child stopped having 13 to 14 seizures, and he's only had one or two this week. Thank you so much. And that's the win. That's where the money's at.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. So bro, if people want to, I heard you drop the site there. If people want to get a hold of the cannabis, did you say it's called Tariq Loves Cannabis, TLC?
Yeah, no. So my name is Tarik Hilal. So I think God kind of like set it up for me already before I was born. So Tarik Hilalscannibis. That's it. It's my name. And THC is just a play on words. It works out perfect.
Oh, right. So halal means what is halal? Does that has a meaning,
Hilal
right?
is just my last name. It's just my last name.
But I'm pretty sure that has a meaning, right? Like you hear about halal.
Hilal.
Meaning.
Hilal in Arabic. So halal is more the Muslim side of sense, but Hilal in Arabic, it means like a crescent, the moon crescent. Hilal. Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
The
Yeah.
Tarik Hilal is
That's awesome.
is
So that's
the
where
base.
people go if they want to get access to this stuff.
Yes, sir. And I do a free analysis. I take the body weight, your current issue at hand, and it's free analysis. And it's just basically to see where you're at mentally and health wise. And then from there, it's either THC or CBD. But also, I just wanted to say, if there's anyone that ever like needs anything or needs to chat, these are tough times for anything. You can also hit me up on that page. I'm more than happy to help. And again, this is so surreal to me, and I'm so thankful for you. And I bumped into you for a reason. The knowledge that you carry yourself is humbling, and definitely.
Thanks, brother.
Like,
bro, I knew that there was definitely something to you, and it is synchronistic that we ran past, man. I mean, we got to do this again, man. There's so many different levels to what we could talk about, but I'm telling you, like, I'm on the verge of for all my life I've never touched anything, right? Because I'm always very apprehensive. I want to get on this stuff, man. I'm actually, as we speak, I'm gonna get onto your website. So people purchase this stuff online. Do you come to door, or do you deliver?
Inbox me at Tarik Hilalscannibis. And I'll send you through an introduction. It's an introduction that I've already pre-written and put together. It gives you the understanding of what is THC, what is CBD, how it works best for your body, and you, my friend, you got a bottle coming your way, express mail, no problem.
Fantastic. I'm gonna get on.
You don't even need to ask twice. So that's absolutely fine.
Tariq, you are full of soulful, positive vibes. You are a purveyor of awesome vibes, man. And I appreciate the frack out of what you were doing.
So
you were a scholar, a gentleman, and I think the world needs more sons of wisdomatic truth bombs, like yourself, man. And actually stand for.
God bless you so much.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah, bro. Just want to say, look, I'm gonna put your links down below. I know people can get in touch with you through the site. Obviously through Instagram, you're relatively active on that. Any other socials you wanna plug?
That's it, my brother. Just Tarik Hilal Cannabis, TARIKHILAL Cannabis, and you'll see the world of information there. And again, I'm seriously humbled by your presence, and thank you so much. And it's been nothing but blessings. And this opportunity is really nice just to get out a positive vibe out there, man. God bless you.
God bless you, Tariq. We got to hang, man. I like you, brother. I'm gonna.
Yeah, for sure, bro. You got my details, man.
Absolutely,
anytime.
I'll be in touch, man. And you're welcome to come on. We got to do this again, bro, because there's a lot of other stuff.
Man, for sure. Anytime you want, man. I love this, and it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you,
my brother. Thanks again. Thanks for coming on the Crucial Journey podcast, Tariq. Peace out. Keep it real, brother. God bless.
Peace. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks. There you have it. That was Tarik Hilal on the Crucial Journey podcast. Dan, we covered a lot of ground there. We went into the deep metaphysical vibes there. We went into cannabis oil, which I'm telling you right now, guys, for all my life, I haven't touched anything. I know a lot of you people think I'm one of these, long-haired Rastafarian brothers, but I'm telling you, I've never touched this stuff. And, there are various reasons, but in regards to the cannabis, that's something I will get with because it's obviously non-psychoactive and it has some amazing beneficial qualities. And of course, I'm already on that plant-based lifestyle, so you know it's gonna magnify my health. But ladies and gentlemen, oh, be sure to reach out to Tariq. Send him your love bombs. Let him know how you felt about the podcast. I'm sure you loved it. Be sure to share this. Tell your mom. Tell your friends. Peace out. Keep it real. Remember, there are three things that cannot remain hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the wisdomatic truth bombs of Tarik Hilal and your chocolate Nubian soul brother. Until next time, signing out, Chris Shule. Ow!
You won't work it, don't make the rest, you won't make it. I don't either care.